I don't need to pay attention in school. I'll just make games when I grow up.
Is something I've heard a couple of my classmates say. This sentence aggravates me not only because it shows how absolutely ignorant people can be, but it downplays a profession that a lot of people do for fun or a living and put their time, skills, and energy into. So, as the school year is almost starting up and I prepare for another year of the horrible, mind-raping massacre of youth that is known as high school, I thought I would talk about the aforementioned statement and how wrong it is. Most, if not all, subjects will help in some way in game development. If you want to do custom rendering, or basically anything in 3D, you will need at least a basic grasp of geometry. If you want to have any kind of story in your games, reading and language arts will help you find conventions, cliché, and other fine instruments of writing. Oh, and it's a good idea to be able to formulate a sentence if you want words in your game. And while science and history won't help you directly with development, they're great for when you need story and location ideas. Oh, and of course, let's not forget the fact that a lot of classes are prerequisites for any kind of degree that will help you get into a game development firm. School also not only teaches you academics, but doing well requires a work ethic and determination, both things you'll need in game development. Contrary to popular belief, there's more to making games than tightening up the graphics on level 3, especially if you're doing things alone. Making a decent game is hard. Making assets is very tedious, especially if it doesn't work out like it did in your head. Programming through visual scripting and typing is extremely frustrating, be it working with the constraints of the visual modules or the hell that is debugging manually written code. Writing a story is probably the easiest part, but then you have to get that story to translate well into an interactive experience. And after that, you have to comb it for plot holes, coherency, quality, and countless other things that concern writers. Even playtesting is a nightmare, since by the end, after going through so many different builds and doing the same thing over and over again, you're probably gonna fall to insanity. Oh my god, Voss was written by the QA team, it all makes sense now! Seriously though, unless you're determined, knowledgeable, and passionate, you won't get anywhere as a game developer. It's a harder job, or hobby, than most people would think. However, if you're still watching, I assume you're not deterred by this and really are passionate and care about making games. If so, congratulations. You might actually make it. Let me help you out with that a bit. So, other than paying attention in school and other basic academic stuff, I recommend doing a little bit of everything. Or, if you have some like-minded friends, get a team going and just start making stuff. Even if you don't release it and it ends with a buggy mess, at least all of you will have the experience and have a good idea of where your talents lie. If you're on your own, though, trying out each field and getting your bearings will definitely help. No matter what, though, do your research. I know I made the mistake of picking up an engine and trying to make the next Call of Duty. Do not think this way. Your first game is probably not going to break any records. I know that you have that idea for the next big bestseller, but just shelve it for now. You're still a novice to game dev, and you need to walk before you can run. Instead, just learn a bit about how to use whatever platform you're using, and experiment a bit. Once you're comfortable with it, look for game jams. They are great places that typically provide a basis for a game and have a time limit, which both forces you to scale down appropriately and means that quality can be forgiven, even more so if you let people know that this is your first game. People are more forgiving than you think. And by now you've likely tabbed out of the video and you're looking for decent software to start you off on your journey. I can help there too. For 2D engines, GDevelop is a great open source alternative to programs like GameMaker. It's extremely nice if you don't know too much about programming, and even if you do, visual scripting can do some rather impressive things. Overall, a very good, if not underrated program. And, well, I wouldn't recommend tackling 3D to a novice, but if you have a good amount of experience and you want to take the plunge, then there's nothing wrong with using something like Unity or Unreal Engine. They're all around great engines from what I've worked with them, but again, only use them if you're already decent with 2D. 3D is a completely different animal, and if you are completely new, it's a horrible idea trying to get much done with it. And finally, if you don't already, watch Extra Credits. They make videos on game design, trends in the industry, and a multitude of other things that are just great to know. And I know that I couldn't cover or put better than them in just this video. Alright, hope you learned something new today. All links are in the description. Go do some game dev stuff. I know I will. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, all of that stuff, but above all, thank you so much for watching. I really do mean it.